Denny Hamlin is forced to bend the knee on Twitter on the same day that Elon Musk buys it, and people are worried that it's going to change. Let's talk about it. Coming up next. What is going on, everybody? Hope you're doing good today. We've got the live stream starting at 6 o'clock today. So if you want to talk about anything or have a question, make sure you tune into that. All right. Denny Hamlin posted a tweet from NASCAR Chasm that depicted the Kyle Larson wreck, and in the tweet he used a clip NASCAR Chasm used a clip from Family Guy in which an Asian woman swerves over 5 lanes of traffic, and then it cuts to Kyle Larson wrecking the field. Now, that in itself doesn't sound necessarily bad, except the person in the clip speaks in a broken Chinese-American accent, and it plays on a stereotype of Asians being poor drivers. So, of course, that got the Twitter mob up in arms, and at first he said, I'm just going to tweet this and not say anything and leave it here. He then tweeted a few times trying to defend it, and eventually he tweeted this. I took down a post I made earlier today after reading some of the comments. It was a poor choice of memes, and I saw how it was offensive. It came across totally wrong. I apologize. So he took the meme down. NASCAR Chasm has, of course, taken the meme down as well. So 2 things happened here. I think NASCAR got a hold of NASCAR Chasm and said, hey, go ahead and take that down. And I think, some of Denny's corporate partners probably reached out and said, hey, go ahead and take that down. We don't want this to be a story. But at the end of the day, what I think happened is 2 different cultures clashed, okay? So I grew up watching South Park, Family Guy, all that stuff. I watched the thing, and I didn't even really think anything about it. It was just, another one of those type of jokes. So if you're used to crass jokes, edgy jokes, whatever you want to call them, spicy jokes, whatever people are calling them now, you probably really didn't think too much about it. And because I grew up in that South Park era, of course, every day in school, I had to hear, hey, Kyle, you stupid effing J. So I get it. Stuff like this can be annoying. And that's where I think I land on this. I think people saw that, and most people who didn't like it were annoyed. They're tired of the stereotype, and they're probably annoyed by it. I doubt very highly that a lot of people looked at this and were genuinely offended. I think a lot of people that looked at this, I doubt that their day was genuinely ruined, but the culture on Twitter, being the culture on Twitter, they saw it as an opportunity to make somebody bend the knee, and that's what I think they do. I think you see something that might mildly annoy you, and you're like, this group of people that like to do things like this, the PC crowd, they like to make you bend the knee because they see an opportunity to make you bend the knee. It is sort of like their currency, their PC or woke currency, to be quite frank. So I doubt this really ruined anybody's day. I doubt anybody was really seriously upset about this. But I think some people were mildly annoyed, and they took advantage of an opportunity to make a guy bend the knee. What's even more ironic about it is they used Kyle Larson. The same people that have been trying to cancel Kyle Larson for 2 years now, 2 years running. Every time he does something, they want to cancel him because they're never going to be happy with him, because they just aren't, because of what he said during that video game. So these same people that have tried to cancel Kyle Larson for 2 years are now using Kyle Larson because he is Asian to try to make another driver bend the knee. So there is quite a bit of hypocrisy and irony in that you're using a guy that you want out of the sport, but now he's become convenient to you, so you're going to use him to try to take out another guy. So at the end of the day, I think this is really much ado about nothing, to be totally honest with you, but I found it ironic on basically the day that Elon bought Twitter and everybody was worried that things on Twitter would change and would be totally different, that on the exact same day that happened, pretty much status quo was kept. So I found it interesting, and I really thought it was much ado about nothing, but I figured I'd address it because, it's just a sign of the times. Spicy jokes are still not going to be welcome on Twitter. Everybody was sort of celebrating, no, we can say what we want to on Twitter, and literally the same day that everybody was celebrating that, a guy had to bend the knee. Another controversy that was sort of brewing on Twitter yesterday is when Bubba Wallace hit the wall and got out of the car, he was hurt, and some fans not only cheered that were there apparently, but apparently a bunch of fans on Twitter took to Twitter and said, "I'm glad he's hurt." And I just wanted to say, like that's like a terrible spot to be in as a human being. He's a guy that races a car, okay? If he's living that rent free in your head that you're hoping he gets hurt, just because you disagree with what he says politically, and I mean, I get it. He aligned himself with BLM. A lot of people don't like BLM because they have taken, people with good intentions money and bought $6 million mansions, and now they're under investigation for taxes. Okay, I get it. You don't like BLM. You don't like that he's aligned himself with BLM. But just because you disagree with someone's opinion doesn't mean you should want them to be hurt in any way, shape, or form for any reason. So if that is your take on that, like, you really need to assess your life, because you've got, like, you really need to assess your headspace, because that is a terrible way to be in life. So, all right, well, there you go. I've kicked both of the hornet's nests. I've probably upset the left side and the right side now, so doing my job. All right, that is all I've got for you today. Live stream should be amazing. Going to be at 6 o'clock. If you made it this far, feel free to subscribe. If you got a comment, leave it down in the comment section below. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.